So I've been a customer of Freedom Mobile, which is a Canadian cell phone company, for 6 years now, since September of 2012. Actually, when I first became a member of Freedom Mobile back in September 2012, it was then Win Mobile, which was like a breath of fresh air compared to my previous cell phone provider, which was TELUS, or as I prefer to call TELUS, Terriblus, because I find them to be a terrible cell phone company. I was living in Brantford, Ontario at the time. Even though I was living near downtown Brantford, within walking distance of downtown Brantford, my data service with TELUS was terrible. Like, half the times I could sit there waiting for 20 minutes to get enough signal on my phone to watch a 2-minute YouTube video. And TELUS's rates were terrible too. I was averaging almost $200 a month with TELUS. And that gave me approximately 11 gigs of data a month, unlimited calling, and texting within Canada. And I was averaging about $170 a month on that plan. So I switched to Win Mobile back in 2012. And my monthly bill went down to, pretty much was cut in 1/3. If I remember correctly, my monthly bill was somewhere between around $50 a month when I first came with Win Mobile. Now my plan has gone up, and as I say, Win is now called Freedom. And right now, with my plan, I'm getting unlimited Canada and US-wide calling, unlimited global texting to anywhere in the world. I get unlimited data. However, my data goes from I get 23 gigs a month of high-speed data in my home zone and 1 gig a month of high-speed data in my away zone. And then I get unlimited low-speed data once I've used up my high-speed data, and that's per month. I'll explain to you about the home and away zone shortly. And also, in August 2017, I got myself what was then a new phone, a Sony Xperia, which I'll do a review on another day. The cost of that phone with TELUS was $420 if I wanted to buy it outright. I decided to go on a payment plan with that, which lasts for 2 years, 24 months. So I'm paying $15 a month for this phone. So all in all, for unlimited Canada and US-wide calling, unlimited texting, 24 gigs of high-speed data a month, if I include that 1 gig of away data, and an unlimited low-speed data. And for a Sony Xperia phone, including tax and everything, my bill runs generally around $143 a month, which I consider to be pretty expensive. But compared to the other cell phone companies in Canada, like TELUS or Terriblus, Rogers, who I prefer to call Robbers, and Bell, I haven't come up with a good name for Bell. I guess the closest thing I can think of for them is bitch. But anyways, those three companies all suck, they would be charging a hell of a lot more money for the package I'm getting right now. So I don't know. I guess Freedom Mobile is the best out of a horrible bunch of cell phone companies that we have here in Canada. Freedom Mobile has improved their service over the years. I remember when I came on board at first, the service was, mediocre, not very good. It was acceptable. It was good enough for the time in home zones. But if you wanted to use it in an away zone at that time, you'd have to pay extra for it, like pay for it on a pay-per-use basis. Now with the plan that I have, I get 2,400 minutes of talk time in away zones per month. And I think I get unlimited texting in away zones per month. And then 1 gig of high-speed data per month in away zones. And then unlimited low-speed data. However, quite often, a lot of the times low-speed data doesn't even work in the away zones. So let me explain home and away zones. Home zones for Freedom Mobile, pretty much their major high population areas where they have their most customers, that's where they have their home zones. So right now, last time I checked, Freedom Mobile had home zones in 3 Canadian provinces, in Ontario, Alberta, and BC. So here where I live in Ontario, London, Ontario, a good part of southern Ontario is made up of home zones. So like Windsor, London, Brantford, Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph, and basically around the Golden Horseshoe. The Golden Horseshoe, basically it extends from about the Oshawa area, goes around Lake Ontario, through Durham region, through Metro Toronto, goes through Peel region like Mississauga and Brampton, Halton region like Burlington and Hamilton, and comes right around the southern part of Lake Ontario, the south shore of Lake Ontario, so it goes down into Niagara region as well too. There's other areas like Barrie is covered by is a Freedom Mobile home zone. So is Peterborough, Ontario, Kingston, Ontario, Ottawa. So that pretty much covers it for Ontario. For Alberta, your major cities like Calgary and Edmonton are home zones, as well as other areas in between Calgary and Edmonton. And your home zones in BC, last time I checked, were Vancouver, like the greater Vancouver area, Abbotsford, BC, and Whistler, BC. And last time I checked, Victoria, BC was not a home zone as yet when I went out to BC this past summer. But apparently Victoria, BC is soon going to be a home zone. It might already be a home zone. But to get the latest information about Freedom Mobile's home and away zones, the best thing to do is to Google them. Like just Google Freedom Mobile and you'll be able to find out about their home zones and their away zones. And everything else that's not considered a home zone is considered an away zone. So my verdicts for Freedom Mobile, they've come a long way. However, they still have a long way to go. I would like to see them increase their home zones in Canada, Like it would be nice if they get on par with the big three like TELUS, Rogers, and Bell. It's nice that they can undercut their prices. And even though Freedom does have a lot of away zones, quite often I found, like at my previous job, I was working as a delivery driver, and I'd be driving out into very remote areas of Ontario to do deliveries. My work phone at the time was with Bell. Quite often my Bell work phone out in remote areas sucked. No service whatsoever. But I could call customers from those same areas on my Freedom phone, be able to talk to them, no problem at all. Understand them clearly. There'd be no, I wouldn't be there'd be no dropped parts of my conversation. We could converse clearly and hear each other clearly. And I was receiving a lot less dropped calls on my Freedom phone than I was with my Bell phone from the big three, one of the big three. So Freedom has come a long way, but they still have a long way to go. They still need to improve their data service. And it would be nice if one day they just do away with the home and away zones and get on par with the big three. But I guess all in all, I'd say, in my opinion, Freedom is the best cell phone provider in Canada, in my opinion.